One of the key elements of Round Lake is the fact that people that come here have to be prepared to come to treatment. That's one of the things that in our philosophy of culture as treatment is very, very important. One of the key elements in the whole process is client-based, that the individual has to be accepting of their own problems. And also with that, they have to come in with a real sense of their own power about their own life. And what we teach here at Round Lake is very, very important for the survival of our Indian communities, because that's one of the key elements that's missing in our communities. There's been so much dependency on the government, so much dependency on other people to solve our problems, that what we teach at Round Lake here is very, very important. That we teach the individual, the client that comes here, man or woman, aunt or uncle, mother or father, that come here, we teach them the sense of their own responsibility for themselves and taking control of that again. Realizing that Indian affairs or any non-Indian government has no power over them. They have the power to change their lives. And with that, that really fits in with the philosophy that culture is treatment, because that's the way our people were at one time before the white men came here. And again, we're going back, and Round Lake is beginning that catalyst for change for many, many people. And I think that's very, very important in the process. The treatment continuum, pre-treatment, treatment, what goes on here at Round Lake, and post-treatment. You know, I think the communities really have to understand that Round Lake is not a place where a miracle cures happen. Round Lake is only the beginning for many, many people. I think a lot of people have the impression that Round Lake is a place where you send a person that has alcoholic problems and that the Round Lake will cure them. Evidence now and research has shown, not only in Indian centers but also non-Indian centers, that the aftercare process in terms of the actual support services that happens in the community is very, very important. Round Lake is just a beginning for many, many people. They're reborn into a new life. They're reborn without alcohol or drugs clouding their vision of their own life and their families. So people have to really, really understand that once a person is sober, it doesn't mean that they're cured. It only means that they can now see their problems more clearly. And that is very, very important when you look at the process of people going back into the communities from Round Lake, that they're only just beginning a process of coming back to life, reborn into a life without alcohol or drugs, reborn into a situation where they can now make changes for their families, get their children back, create jobs for themselves, and do many, many more things that are productive for the community. One of the key issues here is that you cannot have self-government if you don't have a large group of people in your community that are able to deal with things with a clean, sober mind, body, and spirit. So Round Lake is adding to rebuilding and re-strengthening our nations. And the basis of that is our culture, the spirituality that we have here. And that is very important if we're going to survive, if we're to continue on and pass on to the generations yet unborn what we need to survive in today's world. You know, the Round Lake Treatment Center has really been in existence now for 9 years, 10 years next year. And in the years that we've been in operation and with the philosophy that culture is treatment, we've added a lot in terms of what's going on in the world around us in terms of alcoholism. You know, back in the 70s when Round Lake was just beginning, there were many, many deaths in Indian communities as a direct result of alcohol. You could look around in any Indian community and you could see a burial taking place pretty well every week, somebody dying because of alcohol, or somebody being left to slowly die because of the killing themselves through the disease of alcoholism. And Round Lake has added to the community something that is really, really strong. And strong in the sense that it has given an identity and hope to many of our people. But not only that, it has added something to the non-Indian world. It's added leadership. For many of our own people don't really realize that in the 20 years since alcohol has become a real problem for our people from the 60s to the 80s, that we are adding to the non-Indian world some hope that something can happen. Through our approach, through spirituality, and through that approach of culture as treatment, we're giving the world a vision of hope, of protection of Mother Earth, of looking after the animals, all those things that the non-Indian people lack in their own culture. And our culture is treatment for them as well, for it teaches them respect for those things. And those things are very, very important for the survival of our Indian nations to walk hand in hand, not behind, not in front, but side by side with the other nations of the world. And Round Lake is contributing to that vision of the world.